Just to be a little more like.
A little freestyle, huh?
Or think marriage is a trap. Sheesh.
Ooh.
What's going on, YouTube? It's Cruz back with Toxic Kings. Today we got another podcast for you. Today we got another girl. Today we got Damaris. How you doing, Damaris? Right
Good.
on. And then today we got Ant on another podcast. Ant's back on.
Thank you.
Back
at it.
Another for episode. So today, once again, we're gonna get more females on this podcast because we want the female perspective on things in life, things going on around the world. You guys already heard enough about us talking about our perspectives. So today I'm gonna kind of explain how me and Damaris met each other, and then we're gonna talk about her perspective on female side. A little bit. We went to the same church. We go to the same church right now, but growing up, went to the same church. Our families, really, really good friends with our families. Because right now, the big thing is relationships.
No, yeah.
And you were in a long-term relationship. I was in long-term relationships. Chava.
You were?
Yeah.
For how long?
2 years.
Oh, okay, 2 years. Yeah.
Not like as long as you guys, because how long was yours?
2 years. Yeah, the same
2
amount.
years.
2 years. Yeah.
2 years. So talk to me. How did it? So from your point, like, how does a long relationship last? Like, how was it that it went that far on?
Honestly, it was like forgiveness. Like you have to be willing, able to like forgive them, even though you don't think they deserve forgiveness. But it's a lot of forgiving. That's for sure. And then I'd have to say just a lot of communication too. Because if there's lack of communication, then it
don't work.
Yeah, it don't work.
What do you think on that?
No, I agree. Yeah, that's for our relationship. How we last was just forgiveness and communication.
Communication was key.
Yeah.
So now, how did you know it was coming to an end, or like who broke up with who, and how'd you know it was coming to an end?
So honestly, I started to like detach from him. Like I'd say like 3 months before we broke up because it was just like bad, like arguing like every night, and then he would like start disrespecting me, like cussing at me and like cussing at me and like just saying like disrespectful stuff. So I'm like, no, like slowly I just started detaching. And then, like, it just started, like, our conversation just started, like, dying down. Like, they weren't, like, the same no more. So then it actually happened at school. When we broke up, it happened when I was at school. And then I was in my English class, and he's like, I need to talk to you about something. I was like...
I hate those
I
conversations.
know.
I remember that message.
Happened to me.
Yeah.
I need to talk to you.
Because he had just texted me. He's like, oh, good morning. He's like, I need to talk to you. And I was like... I was like, I already know where this is gonna lead to. So, so then I was like, so I got out of my English class and then I was like, hey, like I can talk right now. And then he's like, are you sure? And I was like, I'm like, I guess. And he was like, okay. He's like, well, if I'm being honest, he's like, I think we're old enough to like understand. He's like, but I don't want to be with you no more.
Damn.
But just keep in mind, like, during our relationship, he tried breaking up with me already. But like, yo, the mensa, like, I would beg for him. I would be like, no, like, are you sure you want to still continue being in this relationship? And he's like, oh, like, yeah, like, I still want to continue. But it's because he would get mad for like dumb reasons and then just try breaking up. So then I was like, are you mad about something? He's like, I just feel like you're not trying. Okay. I was like, what do you mean by I'm not trying? So you just don't text me a lot. And I'm like, first of all, I had school. Yeah. I had a lot of things going on at the time. So I'm like, honestly, like, if you're just trying to slow me down on what I'm trying to achieve, like, you know? Yeah. So then I was like, okay, are you sure? Like, are you sure? And I kept asking him, are you sure? Are you sure? Yeah. He's like, bro, I already told you I don't want to be with you no more. Yeah. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, if we're breaking up, like, we're done for good. Yeah. Like, don't keep trying to be in contact with me. And he's like, okay. So then we left it off of there. And then, like, not 2 days later, he tried getting back with me. So that's something like...
I miss you.
Yeah, I miss you.
I miss you. What
you doing?
Yeah. Kind of like that. Did you ever have to, like... Was there
Thinking?
was there ever a time where you were so sad and then you text him, like, hey, I miss you. Like, I want you back?
Okay, so...
I do it all the time.
Okay.
Did it last week?
So, actually, like... The thing is, my senior trip was that weekend. Like, the weekend, like, after we broke up, my senior trip was that weekend.
Where'd you guys go? My bad, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I forgot what it's called, but it was, like, in the mountain, like, near Yosemite.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we rented a cabin. We got an Airbnb, a cabin, so it was just all the time.
The whole school?
No, just our class.
Oh shit.
Big
And it wasn't
chillin'.
like associated with the school too, so it was just like we could do whatever we want. So
Probably got more, man.
So I went to that trip, and you already know, like I was getting all the thing. I was just saying, yeah.
Damn.
Then he was trying to like text me, and my dumbass was like, oh, like answering his text, but I didn't really say I miss you. Like I never really texted I miss you. I was more like, no, like why are you lying? Because he was like, I love you, I miss you, and I was like, no. I was like, no, you don't. And he's like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I was like, no, you don't. And then it just kind of continued off of that. And then once I got back home for my senior trip, is when he's like, let's try again. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I was just mad. Like, I did that out of anger.
Okay.
And I was like, I told you, I was like, if you're breaking up with me, we're breaking up for good. Like, I'm not gonna get back with you.
Go back and forth.
Yeah. So we left it off like there, but he still kept trying to get back with me.
And how long have you been like single for now? Cause are you single or taken right now? Are you
Single.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or focus.
Ooh, that's a good one. Are you locked in right now? Are you focused? Cause you have been grinding at the gym, right? You've been going to the gym.
Yeah, gym.
Getting your mind right.
Work.
Okay.
School.
Okay.
Are you doing college or
college?
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. Okay.
So let's just say I've had situationships.
Okay.
Yes, I've been like
Little things. Okay.
situationships, but single like 11 months.
Oh,
11
shit.
months.
Oh, yeah.
Already about to be a year.
Me too. How'd you get over that breakup? Cause right now, Ant's like fresh out of a relationship. So what advice do you have for Ant to getting fresh out of a breakup?
Just
Feel me?
I feel like I was just staying like kept myself busy, like
Okay.
not just staying at home. And then my friends did really help a lot. Like they're really supportive about just have really good close friends like beside you really helped me a lot. And then staying busy, and then graduation was coming up after that, so I was like, I'm just trying to get like my mind right, doing school, trying to finish. And then but honestly it was like I said, I already had been like detached for months. So I did cry, but like I didn't cry as much as I thought I would.
Did you cry because, well, you had the balls to break up with them, or
I cried.
Or, like, was it relief?
Like I feel like more like relief, like a weight off my shoulders. Like I don't really have to. So I feel like he was holding me back from doing a lot more than I could.
What was that? You know, what was he holding you back with?
Like stuff doing in school. Like I wanted to do more clubs, but he's like, no, you're gonna be too busy. You're not gonna be able to text me. I was like,
oh damn.
Yeah, like I did sports, so I did basketball, cross country, and like he would be like, why are you not responding? You're like, I'm like, I'm busy. Like I'm at practice. I got all this stuff to do, and like that's why I feel like I could have done a lot more. Yeah. And now that I'm single, like I feel like I've done a lot more working on that.
Right on. What about you, Ant? How's it like? So for you right now, out of a breakup, how are you doing mentally? You know what I'm saying?
I'm doing fine. Yeah, we still talk, but
it is what it
is. It's just 6 years. Come on.
Like, well, yeah.
6 years is a long
time. It's hard, yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to keep.
Like it's more like, all right, if you go do something with someone else, okay, that's I'm done. You know, but if you still want to fix something, you know, put in the effort or whatever. Or if I see myself getting used, bye. But
exactly. So what advice do you have for the girls out there that, for example, just got out of a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year out of a relationship to get over like this hump?
Well, not to think of it like as if it's the end of the world. Like there's definitely that saying, there's other fish in the sea, and that's so much true. And there's like other guys that are willing to give you a lot
more,
and actually like be there for you, be supportive, and like
Right on.
Yeah.
What about you, G? What advice do you have for the dude that's been out there for 6 years? Because I know a couple guys that were engaged, bro, for like engaged dating for 8-10 years, and they think like it's over for them. They think like, okay, like, you know, there's no more fish in the sea for me. They think like it's wraps. Like, but what advice do you have for them? Because you're not old, but we're older. If that makes sense.
No, yeah. Honestly, I don't even know, to be honest.
No advice yet. Okay.
Well, the first thing, communication and know how to forgive. I think that's a really big one. That's one thing that we both knew during the relationship. Yeah, because if you guys don't forgive each other, you guys are gonna just keep attacking each other.
I got one thing for all of us actually. So when you were going through that breakup, did you ever like look at yourself in the mirror and be like, damn, like what is it I'm doing wrong? And we saw the other person. I was like, they're doing great.
Yeah, definitely.
Cause like I remember when I was going through these breakups and stuff too. Like I look in the mirror and I'm like, shit, like what's like, and I was doing a lot of things wrong. But it wasn't just me though. Like it wasn't just me. We obviously like both weren't working. What about you, Chava? You ever thought like you ever get like got broken up or a situationship? You ever thought like you look in the mirror like shit wasn't?
Hell no, bro. I'm not thinking about the other person after I break up with them. Yeah.
Wait, did you block them? Like, do you have? Well, this is a question for you. Do you have them blocked on Instagram, or just have them on number?
Okay, so about that. So you know how I said like, oh, we tried getting back together.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I actually like I gave in at one point. I gave in.
Damn.
So I'm like, okay, we can try fixing things, like, but I'm like, we're not back together officially. Like, we can just continue talking, like, cause he's like, I've changed. Like, if I'm not gonna try breaking up with you when I'm angry, cause he was like a person that like was like a really like angry person. So he's like, yeah, like he'd get mad like easily about everything.
That's how I was too when I was younger.
Really?
I get hella pissed. That's how she would like talk to someone in the hallway. Who is that?
Why you looking at him?
Well, yeah, you gotta ask who's that. But
I was no, but I say like hella like aggressive. She'd be like, okay, I'm never gonna talk to him again. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah. So he was like really like
Stay late.
like an angry person, and so I was like, okay, I give in. But then he started doing it again, where he like tried controlling me and like tried doing the things. I'm like, yeah, like that's like not no more. Like I think it was just a month of us talking. And then that's when I completely blocked him off of everything. And after that, I'm like, yeah, I'm not having you on social media or like nothing. I feel like you shouldn't have your ex on social media. That's just my opinion.
I agree.
No, it doesn't work because then you start seeing them with like, because like pictures obviously don't tell you the truth, but like you don't want, like me for example, I don't want to see my ex happy. Like I don't want to be shit. You know? Like you know what I'm saying? I don't want to see him smiling. Like
I wish him the best.
you know that whole saying like
dancing with another man.
no, like you know that saying, as long as you're happy, I'm happy.
Yeah,
bro.
nah.
Fuck all that. You know, fuck all that. I'm good. Like I don't give a shit if you're happy or not. Like I'll be. You know, we'll be just fine.
Damn.
So what's your toxic traits, for example, in that relationship, moving forward, like in family, friendship, stuff like that? What's one thing that like, you know, it's one of those things we're just never gonna get over. Like me, mine's like, you know, everyone knows it. I'm just gonna bounce. If it's in a situation where I'm like, you know, left or right, I'm gone. You know, I'm going behind. You know, I'm out of here. Chavas, what is your, you know, get a little angry. You know what I'm saying? And Ants, what was yours? You don't like hearing people chew?
Yeah, well, that's like a tick. Mine's like I get jealous. Quick.
Jealousy.
I get jealous.
See, for me, it's like kind of jealousy, but then also like if they do something to me, I like doing it back. So like I like getting payback. I like getting payback.
You like to get your get back? Oh.
Yeah.
Shit. Oila? Like, okay, cool. So I think I have heard that on another podcast, but I'm glad you brought that one up too, getting your get back. And sometimes you have to do it because it's like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, for example, like in a cheating situation, like if she catches you, you know what I'm saying? She might not tell you, but deep down, you know, she'll always know, like, hey, like, you know, I hope you know that I went, you know, she went and got her get back.
Yeah.
Fuck it. All right.
What's one of your get backs that you? Well, if you can say, what was one of your get backs?
So. One of our rules, like the relationship rules, was no dancing with other guys, and he can't dance with other girls. So I'm like, okay. And then like I would go to parties, right? And people would ask me to, like guys would ask me to dance. I'm like, no, like I can't. Okay. But the thing is, like, I think it was the day after my sister's quince, a guy had asked me to dance, and I said no that day. I rejected him. And then the day after, I was just like, he had gone to a party that they had like over there. Because do they know that's a long distance or no?
It was a long distance relationship?
It was long distance.
Oh, shit.
So he lived in Mexico and I lived...
Oh, what the hell?
Mexico, what the...
Damn!
Makes sense now.
In the motherland.
So he lived in Mexico.
Makes sense now. Makes sense now.
Okay, keep going.
He lived in Mexico and I lived over here. So the only way we saw each other was me going to visit him.
Oh, shit.
Oh, so
yeah.
You'll go over there?
I would go twice a year. Twice a year to go visit him.
Wait, so you guys only been dating for 2 years?
2 years. And I would go like twice a year. So, yeah. And then, so it was long distance. And I was just scrolling through Facebook because, you know, he put me on Facebook. You already know all the Mexicans, Facebook, WhatsApp, all that. He put me on, yeah.
Para el Facebook.
So I was on Facebook. And then
Shout out Michoacán.
And then I don't know, I got this weird gut feeling. Like, I never touch on no, like, lives or anything. Because, you know, all the tias are just
Yeah, you see
recording
your
the
name pop up.
parties, everything. And I don't know, I got a weird gut feeling. I was like, this lady was doing a live. And I'm like, let me just go on it. And I go on it, and I see him dancing with another girl. And I'm like, no way. So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to screen record it.
No way.
So I screen recorded it, but I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait till he gets home, and then I'm gonna ask him, like, hey, like, did you do anything wrong? And then I'm gonna let him say it, and if he doesn't, then I'm gonna call him out.
Straight
So
doxy
then
right there.
he got home,
Fuck it.
and then I was like, how'd it go? And he was like, oh, it was fun. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, did you do anything wrong? And he's like, no. And I was like, are you sure? And he's like, well, I just drank a little, and I was like, that was it. I'm like, he's like, are you mad? Are you mad because of that? And I was like, no. And then he's like, well, I didn't do anything. I was like, you sure? I'm like, I'm giving you the chance, like, to tell me. He's like, I didn't do anything. And I just sent him the screen recording. And he was like, oh, he's like, she's just my friend. She's my close friend. Like, she asked me to dance. I didn't want to say no. Like, cut the BS.
That's what they all say. She was my friend.
Yeah. So I was like, whatever. So after that, like, I was just, like, kind of, like, nonchalant with him. Like, I wasn't really, like...
It is what it is, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, do you forgive me? That's why I said, like, it comes with a lot of forgiveness. So that's why I was like, I'll forgive you, but...
It's still going to be back in your head. That's, like, one thing you're going to bring up during the fight.
Still, mm-hmm.
And then that's one thing with long relationships is the past is always going to come back. No matter what you do, no matter how much you guys try to talk about it and forget it, the past will always be there, yes or no?
Yeah.
Like, past shit will, like... That's why I feel like we didn't work out was because like the past just haunted us too much, and it was like, you get into a fight on fucking the smallest thing, bro. Like like pick up your shoes. Next thing you know, bring out. Whoa, remember that one chick you used to talk to? I look at. It's like fuck. What's like whatever. Yeah. So now that we got into long distance, how are you able to be loyal through long distance? How does that work? Because you got temptations here in the States, right?
Yeah. I feel like I'm a pretty loyal person when it comes to relationships. Like, even if it's long distance, like I'm gonna stick to that person. Like, if I'm in a relationship, it's to be loyal, not mess around or anything. And I do get it with like the temptations, like hug, like kisses, like you miss all that, like physical touch, all that.
Don't touch.
Physical touch, but it's like if the person, like, you're willing to work for, like, you know, you guys can do it. But
Max.
I don't know. I kind of like started debating like. If he like cheated, like if he did more, like after he did that, I was like, nah, like he probably went.
He probably knew her for a while.
That's true. And then like I was kind of like, I had brought her up before. I was like, oh, like who is she? And like, oh, she's just a friend. Like she's nothing more than that. And I already know where that leads to. Yes, it's like it's just a friend, but.
Cheating in your eyes, like I feel like flirting. I feel like flirting's cheating.
No, flirting is cheating. Like. Honestly, even just looking at the girl is cheating. That to me, like... Oh, shit. Yeah, like, even being friendly, like, none of that. Like, little, like... Well, you know how when you're flirting, like, they hit you, like, stuff? Like, like, that to me, no.
So funny.
Oh, my gosh. No, like, I hate when girls do that. Like, and I hate when the guys allow it, too. They're, like, don't even say anything. But, like, that dancing with other people, like, I don't think that's okay.
I don't like that either.
Texting.
How were they dancing? Like this or like?
No, like. Okay. Like.
So what do you consider cheating, Chava?
I feel like first it starts out with the text. Okay. Man. It starts out with the text. But that's true. Like the dancing or like anything like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Because it goes vice versa, girls and guys. It's like, you know, how would it look if I was the girl for 2 years, right? And then I go dance with so and so. And it's like, it's not going to look right. Mm-hmm. And then you got the whole public watching you, too. It's like, yeah, I get it. Don't worry about what other people think. But while you're doing it, it's not going to feel right.
Yeah.
But think about it. How did she, like, yeah, she picked him up and she said, yeah. But, like, if she knew him, like, how did she get with him? Oh, yeah.
How did she know?
Text.
Facts.
Like, they linked up.
Because after you're dancing, you're going to be like, oh, I want to text her. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, there's...
Like, thank you for dancing with me. Yeah. Like, you don't have to text her that.
Yeah.
Like a little rose.
What's your
What about you? What's cheating considered to you? Long relationship. What do you?
Long relationship.
Yeah, and like in a long.
Like a friend, like a little best friend.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
If it's long relationship, like come on.
Yeah, come
Fact.
on. Why do you need a friend all of a sudden?
Yeah.
I was thinking like
I can fly over. How much is the ticket?
Really?
Bro, I could listen to your stories or whatever. How's your day?
Okay.
What are you gonna friend for? Like, all of a sudden.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They signed me.
But what?
All right, so now let's get into some questions now. Now, one that I feel like I haven't asked yet is, first of all, do you believe in love? Do you believe somewhere out there there's someone for you?
Definitely. Just
Not
obviously not right now, but
right on.
yeah, but I do believe there's possibly someone out there for me. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
You, Chavo, you believe in love?
Yeah.
Do you believe in love?
Yeah, I do, bro.
Right on. What about you, Ann? You believe in love?
Yeah, I believe in a happy ending.
I don't.
What challenge you have?
Oh no, chips.
No.
Or which one?
No, so for the
Oh my god.
so for the rest of so for the rest of
So for the saying that the joke, he's like no chips, no burgers.
Oh, damn it.
No, the other challenge I have would like.
You got a burger?
You just had a Pepsi today. Did you have burgers today too?
Yeah.
You got a burger today?
No. I have another challenge, but that's just like in the boys group chat right now that I told them. But no, I mean, you guys believe that? Do you guys believe that like marriage is a trap? Do you believe that marriage is a trap?
In some occasions, yeah, because like for example, this whole relationship that I had, if I was still to be with him, I probably would have been like married right now. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah, those Mexican people are crazy.
No, yeah, cause like I said, like I could only go visit him over there, so it was like I don't want to keep putting in all the work, like having to go visit him. Like it's not like cheap too, and like I would take him hella gifts, so like a lot of money just being spent. And I was like, okay, like I was like, what do you really want? And he's like, well, I want to get married.
Well,
And I was like, okay. And then I feel like he really talked about it the most, because I feel like if it were for me, I wouldn't have gotten married. Like I feel like marriage isn't for me right now. Like I have a lot of things ahead of me, like my career, like everything. So I didn't really want to do marriage, but I feel like he talked me into it. So he was like, yeah, like we can get engaged January, and then like we can later get married in the summer. And I was like, oh, like okay, if that's really what you want. And he's like, yeah, like I think it's best for both of us. I could go visit you.
Also,
I feel like that's
so he was calling the shots.
Yeah.
Was he trying to get his visa?
Yeah.
Like damn.
He really was trying to get the
He pummeled the bag, bro.
No, he
was trying to come over.
I was trying to California.
Yeah, he was trying to get the papers. So that's why. That's
crazy.
why I really like. I sat down and I was thinking about it. I'm like, is he really getting married because he really wants to be with me, or he just to get the papers?
Want something else?
Yeah.
Fuck it. All he needs is a few days and he's legal here. Apparently, they say. That's crazy. What about you, Chavo? Do you think marriage is a trap?
No, I feel like if you find the right person, you guys could both build up with each other,
Build an empire.
But like if she is holding you back or like bad, then
right on.
it could be a trap.
Okay.
What do you think, at?
What about you, G?
Yeah or no?
That's
Depends who dies first. If I die first, I'm like, fuck. If she dies first, I'm like, okay.
Right on.
Because, like, she's going to have everything. I'm like, oh, fuck.
A little more, like, religious right now, the older you gotten? Like, you found God a little more?
Yeah, because that's when I was in high school, the whole getting drunk and everything. So, I feel like once I got out of high school, like, most of my friends, they went to college pretty far. So, well, not too far, but, like, they're not in town. And I've just kind of been like by myself most of the time, like going to school, gym, all that, and then focusing more in church. And I feel like my relationship with God grew a lot closer.
Right on.
Like being just alone doing me and out of high school, like definitely.
Right on. Now, when you're in high school and you're going to church, did you feel like you had to balance out two different lives?
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
Do you feel like you have to balance the whole like the party scene and then God in a whole different situation? Because that's how I feel like I am right now. I feel like I'm trying to balance them out more. I like to get closer, but in a way, I mean, I gotta do what I gotta do for this. Yeah. What about you, G? You believe in God?
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
I don't go every day to church, but like, I feel like I just need to go once. I'm like, okay.
You feel good?
I still got to do my work because I feel like he's like, okay, meet me when you're going on your big next challenge.
Exactly.
Like, boom. Okay.
Exactly. What are you, Chavi? You believe in God?
Yeah, bro, I do.
Did you ever change your personality to talk to someone? For example, let's say you meet like a 10, right? You meet this guy, he's a 10 in your eyes, right? But he acts a whole different way than you act. Do you feel like you have to change your personality to get to know him? Or to get to even talk to him? Like even like the tone of your voice sometimes, you know?
Yeah, I feel like, if I'm being honest, yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I feel like I do. Because, like, let's just say I, like, start, like, acting the way I act. Like, at first, they're going to be like, nah, yeah. So I feel like I have to change. And then maybe, like, start acting more like me. But then I feel like I feel like you should just be able to be yourself around somebody, not have to pretend to be somebody else.
Right on. What do you think about that? Do you feel like if it's a 10, do you feel like you gotta change your personality, talk to them? Even like a tone and a voice, you know, you gotta sound a little, you know what I'm saying?
No, bro. I feel like you shouldn't change for someone.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think so.
What do you combine? What's your advice on
I'm the
that?
same since 01.
Right on.
Gotta be the same, bro.
Yeah.
It's the biggest red flags, like, when talking to a guy or meeting a new guy that you'll notice, or ones that will make you, like, cut them off, you know?
I'd say, like, they're cocky.
Ooh.
Like, I feel like I get it. There's like being confident is one thing, and like I don't think that's a bad thing. But when they're cocky, like, oh yeah, like I can get any girl I want. Like I don't need you. Like when I'm like, let's just say I'm still trying to talk to him, and then he's like, why have other people waiting for me? You know, like things like that. Like that's a red flag for me.
And then advice on that one, it's like, I wouldn't think that too much because I thought that till one point, and then it's like, yeah, it don't work out. So that's a big red flag for you on that part.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay, right on.
Would you find him attractive, the guy in Mexico? That made you all like, this guy's not cocky.
Cause he was a little player back then, and then he's like, I'm trying to settle down. He's like,
And you don't consider that as being a little
Cocky?
cocky?
I do see, cause he would act like a little cocky with me. He's like, I would get hella girls and all this stuff, and I'm like, okay. But then the like he would just
So you
say,
did like it a little bit.
but then he was like, no, he's like, I'm really trying to settle down now. He's like, I don't want to be like that no more, and that's why I'm like, okay, like but a little bit right after my breakup, and he was actually out of a relationship too. So that's why I asked the question, like, do you guys think a guy's like ready, like out of a relationship? But like I said, like I feel like I was already detached, so I feel like it was easy to like kind of move on, like already like I guess start flirting again and meeting new guys. And then so this guy like hit me up, and then he was kind of friendly. He was just like, oh hey, like how are you? Like what school do you go to? And like it kind of went from there. And then we were texting like just friendly for like 3 months. And then it was like, oh, he's like, I have a crush on you. And I was like, oh, really? And then he was like, yeah. He's like, I just didn't want to tell you because I didn't know if you were going to be weirded out. And I was like, oh, no, like I'm not weirded out at all. But like I'd never met this guy. But he lived like near my area here in Woodland. So I was like, oh, like, I don't know if you're down to hang out or like, let's meet up. Like, let's get to know each other. So so then we met up, and then I was kind of like, I was really shy, and he was shy too, I could tell. But we were just kind of like just talking. It was more just like a friendly like meet up, no kiss, no nothing, like none of that. So after that, we just kept continuing talking. And like he would tell me things like, "Oh my gosh, like I've never met a girl like you're so understanding. You're nothing like my ex." Like all this type of stuff. So I'm like, "Okay, like I'm giving him like good energy." And then after that, he would text me daily, and then out of nowhere, he just like started being like really like dry. And then like he would go like days without talking to me. So I'm like, you know what? And then I texted him. I was like, you know how you said like reaching out, like, you know, and I was like, hey, like, is everything okay? Like, I just want to know if everything's fine. And he's like, yeah, he's like, I've just been going through stuff with my family and like all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, like, it's fine. He's like, I'm just gonna like be on Do Not Disturb on my phone. And I'm like, okay, yeah, like, that's fine. Thank you for letting me know. But then this is the thing. So I went to a football game that same week that he told me that. I went to a football game with my sister at Sparto. And then I saw him. Like I saw his hat. I saw like his hat, and I was like, and I made my sister go. I was like, go. I was like, go see if that's him. And she was like pretending she was trying to look for somebody. And then and then she was like, yeah, it's him. But he put his head down when I passed by. I was like, he was trying to avoid you. And then I was like, okay, I can handle this 2 different ways. I can go up to him and go off on him like in front of everybody, but I'm like, I'm not trying to cause a scene. Or I can just wait till I get home and like tell him. So I was like, okay, I'm not trying to cause a scene, and like he's with his friends, I'm with mine. So like I'm just gonna tell him when I get home. But like we made eye contact. And I just kind of looked at him and I was like, I looked away and I just walked past him. And then he was walking behind me. And he was just trying to act like he didn't know me. So I was like, okay. So then I got home. And I was mad. I was like, you're not, like, kind of like, it made me look stupid in some way. I'm like, I'm over here, like, saying, oh, yeah, he's going through stuff. And, like, I see him, like, with his friends and all this stuff. And, like, I'm not saying you can't go out and, like, be with friends. But, like, I literally saw him on his phone, like, doing all that. I'm like, you can just at least be like, oh, yeah, like, send a text, at least, like, communication, you know? Like, at least tell me, like, yeah, like, everything's okay. So then I got home and I was like, you're a dick. I was like, you're a dick. Like, why would you literally text me saying you have a crush on me, trying to start a relationship, like, all this, if you're just going to act like that? And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry. He's like, I'm a piece of shit. I already know, like, I messed up. And yeah, he's like, I'm a piece of shit. Like, I deserve everything you're telling me. Like, all this. I'm like, he's like, I'm so sorry. You don't deserve this. You deserve better. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, I was still kind of mad. But then he was like, I still want to talk to you. Like, I still want to be something with you. He's like, I won't do this again. He said that. So I was like, okay. So we started like talking again, texting. Not even a week goes by. He does the same thing. But this time he doesn't even tell me, wait, no. He did tell me. He was like, I'm going to be like, I'm going through stuff with my family again. Like, I'm not going to be able to text you, nothing. I was like, okay, that's fine. But then I forgot where else, like, I saw him, but it kind of was like that. I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to be in, like, where you decide to text me one day and then you'll not text me for a whole week. Like, I'm not going to put myself through that. So then I was like, yeah, I don't want to be with you no more, like, all this stuff. So, like, a month goes by, and then he doesn't text me after that, and then he just leaves me on scene. And then he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, for everything I did. He's like, I want to know if we could still be friends. Like, he's like, I just wasn't ready for a relationship. So I'm like, okay. So I was like, yeah, we can be friends. So we just go a few months texting, like, as friends. And then I still kind of, like, had a crush on him because, like, he was a really, like, nice guy. But I still had a little crush on him. And I told him. And I feel like that was my mistake that I told him because I feel like that's what made him probably feel like he had to like me back in some way. So then he was like, oh, yeah. He's like, I like you too. I just wasn't really ready for a relationship. I'm like, okay, yeah, like, that's fine. I understand. And then, but he was like, I'm willing to change my old ways for you. And I was like, okay, like, if
Old ways?
and then I was like, oh, okay, like, that's fine, you know? And then I'm like, so you, like, do you want to start talking? And he's like, no, he's like, I think we should just be friends for right now. So I'm like, okay. So we just texted for like a few weeks like that. And then out of nowhere, he hits me up. He's like, hey, like, I want to, like, start talking to you, like, being in the talking stage. And I'm like, oh, like, are you sure about this? And then he was like, yeah, like, I'm sure. So, like, we just keep texting, and we would text daily until, like, it started happening again, where, like, a week goes by, doesn't text me, only would text me, like, once a week. And I feel like I was, like, not in love, but, like, I was, like, blinded by, like, liking him, that I thought that was okay. Like, I would justify him. I'm like, yeah, like, he's going through stuff, like, it's fine. And I'm like, I get it, you want to be like that, but if you're not ready like that, then just why even text me in the first place saying that you want to be in a talking stage? So then he kind of just, it kept kept going like that. And then he said, we had gone like in a, this, like, kind of like a disagreement, like, not really an argument, but more like of a disagreement. Cause I really wouldn't get mad at him when he would like a whole week. He's like, why aren't you getting mad at me? And I was like, that's when it kind of goes to the point where, like, do you change the way you act for somebody? And that's why I feel like I changed the way I kind of acted around him. Like, I wouldn't I just didn't get mad. But if that were me, like actually me, I would be like, why aren't you texting me? Like, why are you being so dry? All this. So, but I didn't want to tell him anything because I didn't want him to think I was like crazy or you don't
think he was
desperate or anything.
You don't think he was still in love with his ex?
I definitely think he was.
Or like they were still texting?
No,
that's why he probably didn't approach you.
No, I feel like
he
probably still did like his ex, if I'm being honest, because I feel like she did. Well, I think it was his first actual relationship, so I feel like he probably was still like, in love with her.
Head over heels.
So what advice do you have for girls, let's say getting out of high school into the real world? What advice do you have for them going into the real world?
Definitely, I feel like my biggest problem right now is like I'm focusing too much on relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like don't have your mind like set on like relationships. Like be open to new experiences.
Yeah.
Meeting new people, doing new things. It doesn't have to be like what you would do in high school, you know, it could be something completely different. Like I wouldn't imagine going to the gym, doing all this stuff that I'm doing right now if like back then when I was in high school. It's a lot different now.
Right on. Your plan, I feel like it's whatever, you know. I feel like if you want something, you should go get it now. So what's your 2-year, 24-month plan right now?
2-year, 24.
Yeah.
I'd say hopefully like getting my my education, because right now I'm like majoring in early child education, so I really want to be a teacher and like mainly just working a lot, and then hopefully I really want to take out my first car out of the dealership because that's like I really want to be able to do that. I see a lot of people my age already doing that.
Yeah.
What car are you looking for?
I really want a Jeep. I know it's like a basic car, but like that's really the car that I'm trying to aim for.
Right on.
But like I see a lot of girls my age already like they're getting their like grind on. Like they're literally already taking cars out of the dealership, and like that's like my main goal right now. Trying to take out my own car.
Sweet. There you go.
Yeah.
Wait, so you go to college or?
Yeah, college.
Where at?
I'm going to WCC right now because. Yeah, there's like it's 2 years free, and then they do help you a lot. But hopefully, I want to transfer to Sac State.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any questions for us as guys in a guy perspective? Like I'm sure you've seen the clips. You know, we talk a little reckless on this. Is there anything you want to know that us guys think or us guys do? Like
you guys start talking to a girl, right? And you guys are talking to her. She's a cool girl. Like she's giving you like all these green flags. She's giving you loyalty, everything, and like you just one day decide not to be with her. Like, do you guys actually like think like that? Like, oh, I don't like this girl. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. So one thing that was a big thing of mine is like I love to chase. I used to love to chase the girl, and then once she finally like started opening up and finally talking to me and calling me and this and that, I didn't want it no more. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but like it was like it was like a game. It was like a game I was playing. It's like okay, you know, like I like for example, like if we go to a bar, right? My friend's like, bro, that could never go for you. All right, watch this, and you know, give me, and then and I'd be like, you know what, cool. Well, let me try this, and then she started opening up, started calling me.
It's detach.
I say it probably takes time.
Take time.
Or like if there's any like red flag that pops up.
Yeah, she's like, if it's like getting like too repetitive, like you know? Like you're going out like too much, you know. I tell her like, you know, like hey, this is what I'm noticing, and she doesn't want to fix herself. Then you slowly start getting attached.
What are your guys' green flags?
Green flags? Green flags in a girl? When
something
like
that's not toxicos.
Something that's not toxic.
Staying at home. No.
Cooking. I think my biggest green flag is when she's interested in me. So like, let's say I don't gotta text her, right? Let's say like she'll text me, right? Like let's say like I'm busy in the morning, and then she'll say, hey, how's it going? Just little things like that, like the little things. It's not where I have to go out of my way and constantly text her just to see her, right?
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a thing where let's say I don't text her at all, then I'll never hear from her again. Yeah. One of those things. Yeah. What about you?
There's a lot for me. A lot.
It's a few of them.
Well, I just watch like a mature woman, a busy woman for sure. Someone that's not annoying, for sure. But yeah, just a busy, mature woman, you know.
Right on.
Got my back or anything.
Right on. What you tell?
She's gotta be different.
Okay.
What do you mean by that?
Sheesh. Put him in the hot seat.
She gotta walk with her hands.
Dale. That was fun.
No, I mean like, but like not be the same, you know, like not be like how every girl's is or like follow or try to be like.
Yeah. Okay. Like trendy. Oh, I hate that,
like those,
bro.
Or like
I hate that.
This girl, like how you said, mature or like is responsible, has done her shit, like.
Right on.
Okay. I actually have one more for you guys.
Oof.
So do you guys think like a guy can get in a relationship like right after being one? Like even if it's a year, like 3 months, like any relationship, do you guys think they're ready, like
Perfect answer for
right out of one?
No.
No?
Me personally as a guy, I feel like no. Okay. Just cause I just got out of something like pretty hard. Yeah. So I think it'd be like a big no. I think the whole saying too, getting over someone, taking under someone, I think that's like stupid as fuck. Because that's, you know, once upon a time I did that as well. And I shouldn't have. It was a very, very bad decision of mine. Because then now that affects you long term wise. Yeah. So no, I feel like a guy can't personally. I don't know about you, Chavo.
Like, no, like, you can't. You know, you can have like trust issues or like not just trust issues, but you're gonna be like, it's gonna be like too quick to fall in love. I mean, it might happen, you know, if there's the right one, who knows?
You're hurt.
But it'll be like kind of sketch if that happens right away. You know, like
you're hurt. You're like
you had been talking to the other person already. If it happens right away, if you get another relationship.
And that's true what Chava just said. I feel like if you jump into a new one right away, it was because you hadn't been talking to them already. There's no way in hell you just met them and linked up right away within a week or 4.
Already relationship, already dating.
Something had to be going on.
Está loca, bro. It's like, yeah. What about you? Man? What do you think? Just even
same shit, bro.
It's hard as a guy. See, girls think like we.
If I see you hooking up with some other guy after we broke up,
right away, huh?
Like the
fucked up.
You had to been.
I don't know. Me as a guy now in this generation too, if you like. I don't think it's a good idea, and that's, I guess, some advice out there, too. My opinion is I feel like you shouldn't. Take some time, get in the gym, hang out with your boys more. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, then you realize what you really want. Like, you know, if your partner, like, or whatever ex did not do you dirty during the relationship, you guys want to hook back together, put in the effort, maybe, you know, get back together.
Right
but
on.
If you guys break up, he or she does you dirty after the relationship, don't go back. I mean, like, this just depends on the person. I mean, if you go back while this person did you dirty, like, you know, you're going to look stupid. That's the one thing for me. I don't like looking stupid, you know? So, like, I tell her, like, am I going to look stupid going back with you?
Ooh,
you know?
Okay. I never thought of it that way. Yeah. I never thought. I was just so, like, in love. Where I was like, okay, well, you know, we'll try this again. And then the same shit. We fought about the same thing the first time. And it's like.
And what about, like, having exes, like, on social media, like, even if it's just as friends?
Nah, I feel like an ex in a long term, I feel like you guys can't be friends later on. Yeah. Unless you guys had like some kid and shit, and then you have to try to co-parent, then okay, try to make it work.
Maybe.
But
just have the number. No.
Fuck it.
Or email, dude. Fucking. Or
email?
She has to go through court.
She get taken off your check.
Or has to tell me what you're talking.
For real.
No, I feel like exes cannot be. I feel like they cannot be friends. It doesn't work out. You guys are gonna get hurt. It's like, and then if you're trying to move on to, it's not gonna work with that either. So I don't think so.
Definitely.
But yeah, what do you think? You think exes can be friends? Like for example, like you think you and your ex can be friends in 2 years? Like you like let's say you guys go out to a big like high school reunion dinner. You really think you can sit next to your ex and talk to her like if nothing happened?
Yeah, if I want to like be like an asshole, yeah.
Oh.
Like for her next man. Like, you know, I mean, it's the ways you can play. Like, you know, like if you want to be her best friend and have her new man worry about you, you know, you can play like that. There's a lot of stuff how you can play it, bro.
It like,
depends how you play it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You'd be like, hey, how's your mom doing? Right in front of her, man. Sheesh. That would suck.
Invite me to the wedding. No, that's no go.
Fuck it. But no, I mean, that's all the questions I have for you today, Damaris. Thank you for coming on. It means a lot. Yeah. Once again, guys, if you guys want to be on the podcast, make sure you DM me, Ant. Comment down below. Chava, get an IG. Yeah. But as of right now, once again, this is Ant, Damaris, Chava, and then we'll see you guys for another episode later on.
Subscribe.
Yeah, baby girl, I got some toxic traits. Yeah. I never meant for it to be this way. Oh no.